All right, cool. My biggest mistake was this. Again, it's primarily my fault because I was warned by the community, hey, don't go into medium risk. The the level gap between the low risk and the medium risk is massive. And yeah, they were right. It's way too massive. The fact that I was able to score 780,000 on the low risk, but can't even get close to it, and I can't even get to this point. It's a little massive. One thing that they can do to improve this game, especially with this, is basically allow players at the beginning of the week to decide what difficulty they want. I don't like to compare games, but in Punishing Grey Raven, they allow you to do that. They allow you to either go with easy mode or the ultimate mode, and that's kind of like a good way to allow players to not lose materials. Uh, for example, on low risk, medium risk, and high risk, I can't do high risk. Like for example, I can't do high risk because the level, the difficulty gap is very massive. It's massive from low to medium. I can't imagine how massive it is from medium to high risk. So I allow players every at the beginning of the week just to decide what difficulty they want and then go from there. Oblivion Pit, add a skip button. Add a skip button because doing this every day, and again, like the rewards aren't the same. They're actually a lot less. And again, if your main goal is to try not to keep players here, because that's the reason why the stamina regeneration is so slow. Again, the game comes from China, so it's understandable why the stamina regeneration is so slow, because they don't want to keep players. It's kind of like a immersion breaking mechanic, because again, in that region, they're only allowed to play a certain amount of time a week or a day. I can't recall, but it's because of that. So if you're trying to not keep players here for a long time, add a skip button to this because this gets pretty annoying. Doing it every day. um, Come on, go back. But again, coming back to the stamina regeneration, I timed myself today about how fast I could do my dailies and get everything finished off, including broken frontline. It took me about 15, 18 minutes, give or take. So they could actually relax on the stamina stuff and actually reduce the timer because it takes like almost 13 hours and a half to try to get full stamina. You can cut this in half. Again, the whole point is you're trying to get players interested into the game to kind of keep coming back into it. And also, when it comes to the centers, again, I said this before, I don't like tier lists. But unfortunately, when it comes to this game, you kind of have to follow one so that you're not stuck. So you kind of have to follow a tier list. And I hate that because you're stuck with a really tight six, which I still very highly recommend. Stay with a tight six and build those tight six. But at the same time, you have all these awesome characters here, and like you can't really experiment with them. And that's kind of unfortunate. I hope that they kind of make that change where like, okay, maybe like for example, on the broken front line, you need a physical for the first and the last one, and in the middle one needs a magic one. Fortunately, I have only physical ones made. I gotta build Irene, but first I want to phase 3 Nox because in broken front line, the first boss and the last boss are primarily they're primarily physical. They're not primarily. The first one's weak to physical. The last one is kind of like a mix, but the middle one is magic. Fortunately, I don't have many magic characters built. Irene's my only one. I gotta finish building Nox, get her to phase 3, and then starts working on Irene. It's gonna take me about a week, give or take, to get her into phase 3. So I'm kind of guessing I'm gonna have the same time frame for Irene to get her into phase 3 as well. But again, that's what I said. Keep it at a tight 6, optimize those characters, and then slowly build other ones. As you can see, like I built a huge array of them. Again, don't do what I did, but try to keep characters at a tight 6. So because again, the stamina is a huge issue. Gathering materials is another huge issue as well. Tips wise, I did give you tips. Don't enter mid risk unless you're absolutely prepared for the bash. Characters, keep it at a tight 6. Slowly start working on them to try to get them into phase 3, and then move on from there. Yeah, try to level them up a little bit. Also, another thing as well is that when it comes to, for example, the Rust, do slowly start getting into the LE4 because that's where you get most of the good materials from. Excuse the noise. I'm doing this early in the morning now. Normally I don't do videos in the day because of the noise, but I do get this. Optimize this. This is hard. This is actually really hard. I can't get into PO4. The difficulty is actually extraordinarily high. So stay here for a while and then go from there. The drop rate for the crime brands is ridiculously low, and then of course trying to get to the MSY4 level 75 it's pretty challenging, even for me. That's why I'm suggesting keep it at Type 6, optimize them so you can start doing content like this and the content that I mentioned prior when it comes to the nest pollution. You can get into this a lot more sooner. Again, I get myself because I built too many characters, so it's my fault, but that's a tip for you guys. Optimize your Type 6, get them to at least level 80 or so before you start moving on to other characters so that you can clear content. Unlike me, I'm stuck right now, basically. I'm basically stuck right now. As for other tips and hints, I'll be providing. I'm not sure if you guys want. I mentioned this in the video prior. I'm not sure if you want actual single character showcases, but I can definitely start doing that because me and my friends together looking at different characters and checking out, like, oh, what are good characters, etc. I think in one of my videos I mentioned like, oh, like these are certain good healers, etc. Mr. Fox, Lisa, and I think Chameleon or Macchiato. I think these three right here, and then these three, and then plus Hamel, of course. But these three are buffers. They're not healers. They buff. Lisa buffs attack speed. I think Chameleon signal increases energy recovery, so she increases energy recovery. And then of course Mr. Fox, sinners who adapt as supporting allies to reduce damage. So he's a damage mitigator. That's not bad. So these three are buffers right here. They buff attack speed, energy, and then of course damage mitigation. And then the four here are healers. It's still, I think the best ones are Ariel and Hamel, without a doubt. We were looking at Anne. She might not be so hot. That's why I want to do like specific character showcases. Maybe do 1 or 2 characters per video. Because it's not going to take that long unless it does take long to do like one character. Then I might just do one character at a time. But overall, let me know if you guys want to see a specific character. If you want to see like, especially the crime brands, because I got to like look into that, see what crime brands are available, and then try to find which ones are the best for each character when it comes to late game advanced settings, etc. Overall, that's my overall take. Again, not many hints. More suggestions to the developers if they ever watch this video and actually see like, hey, this could actually help you guys overall, especially with player engagement. That's what you want. You want players to become either current players to keep interest and new players to get that that notion from other players. Hey, this game's actually really good. You can advance pretty well in the game. Again, the game just came out, so I can't make like huge, players can't make huge demands. But at the same time, these kind of small little changes here and there can actually help the game itself kind of like get more players interested into it. And then hopefully we see this game live a long, healthy life. Let me know what you guys think about my take on this. Do you agree, disagree? Again, we're here to have a conversation down in the comment section. Keep it clean down there. Overall, that should be it. I really hope you like this video. If you do, please like and share. If you like it a lot, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.